Hello there. So this is part two. We're kind of trying to make this effect here and look kind of as good as this with bokeh and yeah, just make it look as good as this. So let me just see that. I guess we can start by animating the camera. And let me also change the aspect ratio of this back to 1080 by 1980 by 1080. 1920 by 1080. No, this is 1920 by 1080. And I'll also animate this camera to kind of give us that motion. But what I like to do when I'm animating cameras is just, I want to parent them to an object, like say a curve like this. Parent this object here. Parent the camera to this. So that if I wanted to give this kind of a rotation like that, I can do that. If I wanted to animate this going like this, I just animate this and just also do those, add the keyframes. So if I wanted to give it that pan, I can do that. So around 100. But I also can still animate the camera independent of the other animation we have. So if I wanted to rotate this camera, I just have to do that. Let me also change the frame rate to 60 to give it that smooth animation. Now I think I'm going to kind of speed up the camera just a bit from this position, and right about here. So when this gets into frame, I speed it up so that the camera is on this side. And also I think I can move this a bit down to frame this better. I don't need this keyframe. Let me change this pass out to be kind to occlude everything. I think this is a bit too fast. Maybe let me not do that. Let me not speed this up. Let me just make it slower, but change the timing a bit. Now I think I'm happy with the animation we have here. So what I'm going to do is bake. I didn't do this for this example, but I'm going to do it here just because I think it looks better. Let me first bake the animation. So you go to the scene settings, and then under rigid body you should find cache panel, and then bake all dynamics. This should bake everything so that this doesn't change every time. And then if you go under rigid body, you can bake everything to keyframes, but I think you have to select all the objects you want to bake to keyframes. So select them, select all the rigid body, and then bake rigid body bake to keyframes. So I want to bake the entire timeline, so just click OK to bake that. It takes a while, but yeah, hopefully it does. Blender doesn't crash on me because I haven't saved this. Okay, let me use this as a chance to save. And we have baked this into animation keyframes. And the reason I'm baking this is that now I can slow this down, this animation right around here. I think around here. See, the glass passes through before uh, before breaking. That's, I think, is a result of the steps we have here. Steps per second, if you increase the solver iterations or steps per second, you can kind of remove that effect. You can reduce that. But I'm not going to do that. I'm happy with the result, so I'll just slow it down right around here. So to do that, you just have to, let me first hide all of these. Just have to select everything, and these are the, you just have to select everything and kind of select also. Let me expand this so that I can see all the keyframes we are dealing with. So I just have to select all these keyframes here and I push them, give them a distance. You can see kind of pauses mid-air and then the animation continues. But I think we can do better than that. So let me save this again for a different version. So let me create this, save this as one. Instead of pausing mid-air, I can scale this up, scale these keyframes, and that should scale them from this 12th frame, and that should scale up or slow down everything. Okay, slowed it, but not to the rate I want. So let me scale this even further. Think that is better. I think I can slow it down to around here. Let's see, deselect all of these and then scale this back to its original speed, which I'm not sure what it was, but I think I'm just looking at the spacing between these keyframes. I want it to match. Actually, I think I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe that. I think it should end right here, because at 250 frames, because that's the number of frames we baked. So it should end right there, and we should have the speed back to the original speed. So now I just have to change the timing of the camera here. So I don't want this plane to be seen. I can also slow down the camera movement right around here so that it matches So right around here, let me add a marker to when the slow motion ends, so that I can get that timing. Let me also move the camera just like that. Let me delete that keyframe. Just need to play around with timing. Just need a slight movement in this camera, so shouldn't be that much. Also, maybe let me also change this to vector. Let's see. So that the camera movement doesn't slow and then speed up and then slow down. Since we also have this camera parented to this, I think I can spin this, I don't know, around here. Let me add a keyframe, and then let me see how it would look if I give it a slight rotation like that. Nah, it's okay without it, so let's go with this. I think it looks good. Now we just need to give this as a background, so let's also turn on some effects here. I don't think I need ambient occlusion for this. I just need bloom, and I also need, I will have this. I also need the camera depth, so depth of field, and I'll select this here, and I change the f-stops to 0.1, maybe 0.08 to have more depth of field. Maybe we can select the glass as the focus object. We need an HDRI image in the background to kind of have something to reflect and refract. So I'll select, find an image here to use. I think this is what I used in the previous example, and I think it worked well. So we just need to kind of rotate it to get better reflection. So I'll just add some texture coordinate mapping. I'll rotate this on the Z axis. I think that looks better. I think I need to reduce on the bokeh here, the depth of field. Let's just use 0.1 or 0.2, something like that. And also for the materials, you can turn on some alpha, reduce the alpha a bit, and in the settings here, change the blending mode to alpha blend or alpha hashed. So if you use alpha blend, you will notice a kind of blur or halo around the glass. So if you see that, you can turn off show back face, and I think that reduces that. But you can also use alpha hashed, which might give you better results, but they might be a little bit grainy. So that's why I prefer alpha blend. And maybe let's reduce the glass a bit. I also don't need this roughness. Let's add in some lights here. Maybe this should be an area light. Let's try above 10,000. See how this would look. Just want some of you, we want those highlights there. I think maybe our bouquet is a bit too much, so maybe instead of using a focus object, we can just use the focus distance here. I don't want this to be animated. See, what else can we add? Let's see if I reduce. Maybe I need to angle this camera a bit so that I can see the reflections better. Let me play around with the background here, some of these colors. Let me add a curves adjustment here and play around with this a bit. I think we don't have enough details to reflect, so let me change this background here, something different. Let's see if we can get better results. Yeah, so that's it. You can play around with the different settings and see if you can get better look. Yeah, because I did spend a lot of time on this, and I can see better reflections and reflections. I think the HDRI image I used was better, and yeah, these other things here I didn't do much because there was not a lot to bake, indirect lighting to bake. Maybe the material I used was better, but it's not really that different from what I used. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.